couple of odds and ends here on the economic front before we go on to some strategic issues. We have, again, almost 2 million people in the Washington, D.C. area are told you can't water your lawn, you can't fill your swimming pool. In places that I've been looking through this week in the neighborhood, you've got all kinds of car wash places are shut down. They even tell you don't use your washing machine, your dishwasher, except in the case of total need. So this is, you got a $500 fine if you don't go through the mandatory restrictions. This is 4 days. It's the whole holiday weekend. 2 million people face water limits. Now, this is, you may remember, there was a large water main break in December of 2008, and there was a big water main break a couple of years before that. It's going on all the time. The U.S. water systems are obsolete. This is a new one. This is from 1969. That's very new. But a lot of them are more than 100 years old. You got to rebuild the entire thing. That's where you need your 0% Federal Reserve credit. Force them. National third bank of the United States, or fourth bank of the United States, if you want to count correctly. That's what you need. And this is what Obama does not have. There are indications from various stories that in the Obama regime, there was a discussion. Do we want to have a new WPA, put people to work on infrastructure? The answer, no. And the leader of the no forces was Austin the Ghoul Goolsbee. And we had that guy pegged back in February of 2008 when he said no LIHEAP money, no low-income heating aid for people freezing in Maine in the winter. We knew Austin Goolsbee was a rotten apple from the Chicago school, a reactionary oligarch coming in on this stuff. Now, therefore, this water crisis is just a typical example. Now, in terms of the panic, in addition to the 17% lost by Citibank in one day, here we have an interesting article, June 29th, this past week. Greece and Spain lead surge in sovereign debt risk to new high on record. And this is credit default swaps, okay? This is the market track sub-X Western Europe index of default swaps on 15 governments. It was up 6.5 basis points to 165 this past week, and that was close to the all-time high, the all-time panic level on June 4th, according to CMA Data Vision. There was a fifth Greek general strike this week. There's a sixth Greek general strike this week. Hey, how come you guys can't bring down Papandreou? Down with Papandreou. And you can't even get him out with 6 general strikes. This is amazing. So the interesting thing you see is that you want to buy a credit default swap on Greece. You want to sell one. You got to pay 1,101 points. But for Banco Santander, it's only 210, and for Bilbao Vizcaya, BBVA, it's 276. JP Morgan is also tracking this stuff. So you get the idea. I can assure you, Greece will be around long after Santander and BBVA are long gone. But this is the way you can use credit default swaps. It allows you to distort the thing by piling in there with speculation. So the positive thing is the Green Party. We have Green Party candidates for governor, and we'll go through these campaigns in more detail at a later time. The Green Party candidate for governor in Ohio is campaigning for the Tobin tax, the Wall Street sales tax. Similarly, the Green Party candidate for governor in California, that is Laura Wells, is reportedly supporting the Tobin tax, the Wall Street sales tax. We'll have in-depth coverage about this because this is very, very important. This is the factor that could get us out of this crisis. And I want to call everybody's attention a good contribution, useful piece of work by Ellen Brown in the Huffington Post in favor of the Tobin tax or Wall Street sales tax. But generally speaking, you want to get out of the Keynesian dead end. Keynes is bad news. It's true. Keynes is a totalitarian liberal. We'll get to that in a minute. Franklin D. Roosevelt, much better than Keynes. Because Franklin D. Roosevelt says, whatever you do, it's going to go for maintaining the mental capital or building infrastructure as the Tennessee Valley Authority. Keynes said you can easily dig ditches and fill them up. Wrong. As a matter of fact, Keynes, at various points in his works, insists that your job creation should be in areas that are not productive. Pure Malthus, and that's the problem with Keynes. Keynes is completely based on Malthus and says so at various points in his work. So this is now the economic situation, and we're very wary of that lame duck. The other point that we wanted to make, in this package for the extension of unemployment benefits, the 300,000 teacher jobs, the Medicare doc fix, we want to make the hedge fund hyenas pay. This means Soros, particular, Romney, these characters, the hedge funds. We want what they call this carried interest has to be taxed at the highest possible rate. If it's income, tax it as income. Don't tax it at capital gains. That's a lower rate. And it's interesting. Scott Brown is one of the ones agitating to make sure that the carried interest, in other words, the way that hedge fund guys make some of their rake off, that has got to be taxed at a lower rate, says Scott Brown. Hum, hum, hum. Who does Scott Brown serve? Does he serve the Tea Party? No, he serves Romney. He serves the Romney faction of the Republican Party. Romney is what? He's Bain Capital. He's a hedge fund. He's an asset stripper. He's a hedge fund hyena. His candidate, by the way, is that the woman running in South Carolina, the Republican woman gubernatorial candidate with the checkered past, is a creature of Romney. So Romney is all over some of these candidates, but behind the scenes. In public, they're for the Tea Party. In reality, they're stooges for Romney. Now, Afghanistan, this month has been a disaster. 102 NATO deaths in the month of June. It is now way, way past Iraq. Petraeus has been confirmed 99-0 in the Senate, and he now assumes an authority as sort of co-president in charge of war. This is more than a viceroy, he's basically getting to be a satrap. He's getting the attributes of independence. What you can see here is that the ability of Obama to tell Petraeus what to do is virtually zero. And this is what Obama has set up for himself under the advice of his stupid handlers or treacherous handlers. So now we have Petraeus with all of this authority, and there will be a conflict about the idea of starting to get out of there in July 2011. And I say avoid that conflict. Start getting out now. Get out of Afghanistan now. We'll be back in a minute.